Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. Looking forward to 2026 with everyone. It's going to be an awesome year. I think we're going to be able to accomplish much as a community and individually. Really hoping everybody captures, embraces many, many blessings this year and excited for what's to come. Let's break down gold and what's been happening with gold. We've been seeing some huge, huge moves in gold lately. Um, a lot of news circulating around why the margin requirements have been increased on the metals, silver, and people have been going pretty crazy on trading those assets because there's so much volatility right now. And that definitely behooves us to be a little bit more aware of risk management. But in particular, the levels that I'm paying attention to are between 50 and 55, and then um, 77 to 81 for short. And then for long, I'm paying attention to 43.05. And if not, coming down to 42.69. So those are the key areas I'm paying attention to, but I'll provide some more insight as the night goes on in Discord Pro. But you see here's a lot of opportunities to get some profit in between these levels. Um, Again, be mindful of these sharp, aggressive moves that come upon the metals and just manage your risk with your size and take care of yourself with your stops and your take profits, take trims. Do whatever it takes in order to walk away, protecting not just your physical capital, or could I say just your uh, financial capital, but your mental capital. So that's for gold. And then for let's switch over to the indices, ES and NQ. What I'm paying attention to on NQ is it's retracing back up to 648. I really like 648, and then give myself maybe a 20, 30 point stop, smaller size, and just aim back down. Obviously, I would like to long almost near open, back up to 640, but I don't want to assume this is going to auto long right off the top because it just might keep sinking. Do anticipate us uh, pushing towards a weekly floor to end the week. It doesn't happen often. We're usually pushing or remaining above the week near the weekly ceiling. But this time, the floor. There's some levels beneath the floor that I would anticipate would be the more aggressive moves for the day. Taking into consideration, median range is under the floor, but and then between the floor and the weekly floor, but then the average move to the downside for bearish days, red candle days, lower lows on the daily. The average move takes down 25,073, near 25,000. The wall short takes down another 300 plus points. So that's very interesting to me. And then on ES, essentially, um, of course, the divergence is something to take into account between ES and NQ. But on ES, I'm paying attention a little bit more to what happens before we get this not full retracement, but this deeper retracement here. On ES, it would be 69.2375. Um, Paying attention to that roadblock first before getting back up here, 69.44. I'll update some of this with what I see throughout the day, throughout the evening, but targeting really the floor for the larger extended move of the day. Invalidation of this ultimately is price to just hang out here to finish off the week. Obviously, that would not be favorable if it just came back up and just hung out here. That would stink. It would not be too different than what happened throughout the morning on Wednesday, December 31st. But we had the end of day move. People talking a lot about what's happening with the banks, um, reverse repos, banks needing cash. So obviously there's some fear starting to circulate, and therefore selling pressure starting to accumulate. But um, regardless of what is happening in the news world, we just got to take advantage of what the market's giving us. I'm not here to try to figure out the why, um, and not try to seem smarter than I am. I'm just here to try to take advantage of what the market shows me with the levels from the fractal. Whether that's gold, NQ, or ES, I just manage my risk, control my entry and exit, and walk away. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We are in the business of taking high probability setups. And so the market's showing me that a high probability setup is starting to play out here with a short around 69.23.75. Some hesitation coming back down. I'm going to start paying attention to what's happening with Wavesign hourly for having bounces there. Granted, that would be a nice scalp by itself, but if markets continue to grind up, 69.44, definitely paying attention to. Now, if we start getting immediate selling pressure in ETH down to the floor, weekly floor, I'm definitely paying attention to that. But on ES, I'm targeting down into this open state and the Wave 20 daily vector. If we get an extension, the wall short almost overlaps exactly with the weekly floor. But the outlier moves to the downside, come down here too. So this is a SPY wall short and this is an ES wall short. And again, because of the outlier week, with us having the markets close on January 1st, then we might have some outlier moves as well because we have the outlier week. Remember this principle we've talked about several times over the last 6 months. So that being said, I am bearish after a little bit of push up. But if we get this immediate bearish move to the downside, then I would be paying attention to either a long retracement or outlier to the downside. But really, that decision tree, that decision point is dictated off of how price is behaving between the floor and weekly floor on NQ. If we're having basically strong bounces to the upside, expiration above, and then come back up. So something like this, if we get a sort of grind, that would be bullish. But if we're having like this sort of movement where it just wants to hang out for a long time, I would expect this to just keep bleeding. So just paying attention to those key levels. I'm not really minding for anything in between right now. So yeah, that's it. Happy New Year. Let's finish off this week strong. Start the week off, the year off great. All right. Thank you.